Hey everyone, today I'm going to be vacuuming my fish tank. This contraption here is called a python, and your water pressure creates a suction vacuum. I'm doing this mostly to get rid of minerals because throughout a period about a month, I keep topping off the tank as it evaporates, and that makes the water harder and harder. The minerals sink down into the gravel, and that's what I'm going for now. Not really going for the waste, since most of that brown stuff you see being sucked up is already decomposed. It's basically just silt, completely harmless. After a while, it'll start to build up and look ugly, but it means basically nothing. Go ahead and move the statues. And there's always a huge collection of silt and garbage underneath them. Today we're doing about a 50% water change. Gonna fill it back up to 75% just to get the filter and everything operating again. Give it a few hours for temperature to catch up. Then we'll continue filling it. It's a 55-gallon tank. I'm trying to do this as efficiently as possible because we're losing a lot of water. It doesn't have to be completely thorough since it gets done often. Get rid of this stuff floating around in the water. Alright, put the statue back. That's just a big piece of ceramic pipe I found in someone's backyard during their estate sale. They had a whole bunch of old vintage plumbing and it looks awesome in the aquarium. This tank is home to two large Plecostomus fishes, both 13 and 14 inches long. And those guys must be over 20 years old now because they were bought for me by my father when I was like 11 years old. And they weren't bought for me when they were babies either. They were surrendered by someone else because they were getting too big. They haven't really grown much since I've had them. Fish grow slower as they get bigger. I bought these new covers here. I really don't like them. They cost 50 bucks. They do not seem worth that. I would have been better off just having a piece of glass cut at Home Depot for like 10 bucks. And I might do that because I'm going to demand at eBay they give me the money back, and let me explain why. I bought two covers for this 55-gallon tank with lights. Cost 100 bucks for the set of two. So the eBay seller ships them to my house, and the shipping label has some random girl's name on it. So I give it back to the post office, not knowing whose it is. Turns out it was mine. They put the wrong name on it. So when I give it back to the post office, then I find out in tracking information it had to have been that package. So I contact the seller. He agrees to resend it when he gets it in the mail. He only sends me one, and I just keep forgetting to contact eBay. They're usually really good. They'll just give me the money back for both of them, and I'll get to keep the one. Let's go to Home Depot and get a piece of glass. That'll probably be better because it lets light through. I don't know. A lot of people don't like algae. Those lights that are built in that probably kill algae, and I'd rather have it for the placos. Any junk build up inside of that? Not too bad. It usually builds up inside of there, not too much. Anything inside the skull? This right here is an old... Oh wow, there's a lot in there. You saw that? This is an old piece of corrugated sewage pipe. You see the ribs? There's a piece of rebar inside each one. Amazingly, it's been in the tank like 8 months. There's no visible rust going through. I thought I'd have to remove it because of that. And the other one's just clay. And the guy at the estate sale, he knew what they were worth. He charged me like 10 bucks a piece because he knows you can't buy those anymore. And these are original vintage ones. See over here, I built Plecostomus as a cave out of old just patio bricks from the Home Depot. Those patio bricks, you can get those for like 30 cents a piece. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of waste inside the cave. Yep, look at all that. I think one of them's in there, right? Is that what I'm pressing against? I think so. We'll leave that alone. You don't have to do it perfectly. That's what the bacteria cycle's for. And the filter just shut off. I'm going to unplug that because I'm not going to fill this up until I'm done emptying all the cages, so I don't have to keep running back to the sink. Because the control here, I don't use that. Because sometimes it'll blow a gasket if I shut it off on the actual pipe. And that looks thorough enough. Now let's go downstairs to the next tank. This one's also pretty dirty right now. I'm not really going to show this one. There's just too much glare. I can't get a good angle of this aquarium. This one's feeling pretty cool. I'm going to turn up the heater on this. It's only 68. I like to keep the cichlids in the 70s. Now it's time to clean the leech cage. This guy hasn't had food in about 7 months. But it's a leech. They can go over 12 months without food. And next time I'm probably not going to feed it the same way. I'm probably just going to buy it some fresh beef liver from the supermarket because it's hiding inside here. This is always where it hides. It won't come out unless you add new water and it really gets going. So take the siphon. Go around in here. I see some of its old skin. Get everything out of here. And I have bottled water because they're very sensitive. The only reason I'm not going to feed it again on myself isn't because it hurts or anything. It's because it leaves a scar for like 8 months before it goes away. My last scar from the thing is still a little bit noticeable. And it itches for the first month, and I'm not doing that again. I'll just buy it blood. So this is what I do. I keep the python in one side sucking while I pour clean water throughout the gravel, cleaning it. With my hands, I just give it a quick scrub on the front to get rid of any little bit of algae that might be there. It's not very slimy this time. Sometime I'll take a paper towel, add a little bit more water there as it's sucking it up. Put that down. Add 1 more gallon of clean water. And when it's filled, I'll put the leech back, and the leech should come right on out of the cage. There it is. You gotta have a platform in case it wanted to get out of the water. It's never done it in the 2 years I've had it. Don't think it ever will, but in case it wants to get out of the water. And this is my final aquarium. There's 1 Plecostomus in here, and there's also a green frog, the one I rescued from the culvert in the winter time. It wouldn't have been able to hibernate and would have died, so I'm keeping it in here. After 1 season of keeping an animal like that, you're not supposed to release them because they'll likely die. This tank is extremely clean because of all the plants in here. It cleans up the water. You don't find much waste in here. And this stuff is invasive pothos in an aquarium. I trimmed this a month ago, so half of it was open, and it just keeps growing and growing like crazy. Everyone thought it would die and drown. The thing is, it's incredible in here for cleaning the water, and there's not many animals in here. There's only one fish and the frog. See, there's not much in here. I'm just gonna go through the gravel a little bit, get rid of some minerals. Actually, you don't even have to do that. This aquarium has a solid glass cover. It doesn't evaporate. You can go like 5 months without topping this one off. Very efficient, this aquarium right here. Could use a little glass cleaning above the surface of the water where the Placo can't go. And it's time to reverse flow back into the aquariums. I only ended up needing a 30% water change, so we're gonna just fill this up all the way. Now I want to talk about the filters I use. This filter here is great. It comes from Walmart. It's made by Tetra. I've had this one 12 years and it's still doing good. 30 to 60 gallon. This is a 55. This is a great filter here, because most old traditional ones, the impeller is down inside the back, but this one, the impeller is inside here. So if the power goes out, it doesn't need to be primed. It'll start back up itself, because the older ones, if you weren't around to prime it, it would just keep like trying to suck water, and eventually it would generate heat, evaporate the water in the back, and burn out the impeller. Never seen one start a fire or start smoking. But anyways, I just got rid of one that failed after almost 40 years. It was a 1980s Whisper filter I had down here. It just failed, so I had to buy this one at Walmart right here. It shows their quality is going down. Granted, this one's not made by Tetra. That other one was purchased at Walmart. This is the new version of what Walmart sells to that one I showed up top. This one is Aquatech. It costs about $38, and it has the filter, the impeller underwater, so it's self-priming, and it looks like they're starting to get cheap in a few ways. The older ones used to come with a plasticky filter cartridge you could wash out with your fingers and reuse forever. That's what the one up top has. This one comes with this new thing here. Can't really reuse it, but you know what I buy? I go to Lowe's and I buy a plasticky filter cartridge for a furnace, and they last forever. You just keep rinsing them out with your fingers in the sink. That works just as well. And you can't put carbon in a filter cartridge for a furnace, obviously, so I use a nylon sock, fill it up with aquarium charcoal, tie the end of it, throw it in the tank for like a week, and it will drop it. But I haven't had an ammonia problem in years. Also, you saw me going in and out of these tanks with a siphon. I'm not worried about spreading contaminants. I haven't brought a new animal into my systems in 6 years, except a frog. So they're pretty clean. Up top, starting to fill up. Now this heater here, I gotta keep an eye on it. That one's getting 2 years old. That's a cheap 500 watt one, $17 on eBay, directly from China. For $15, it's awesome that I got 2 years out of it. But I had another one that was the same age on the tank below, failed after 8 months. Well, that's what you get for buying something cheap from China, but for 2 years, that's pretty good. When it does fail, I want to show you a few backups I bought on eBay. I bought for 30 bucks, this guy sold me a lot of heaters that are worth like 400 bucks. They're like really nice commercial ones that are stainless steel, so if you do a water change, it won't crack if you forget to unplug it. And also, I love the submersible ones. I don't like the old-fashioned ones that clipped on the back of it, where the control had to be out of the water. I just buy submersible. Don't even waste your time with those other ones. What's the point? These ones you can put on the bottom, and you don't have to turn them off when you do water changes. Almost filled up. Almost there. Now I gotta do this really fast so I don't have to run back over to the sink. 1, 2, 3. There we go, didn't spill any on the floor. Obviously, this filter here is weaker than the one up top. The older version had more quality. This one has cheaper plastic on it. It looks like it has a less of a flow rate, even though it's rated the same. I know it's a different company, but this is what Walmart sells. It's the equivalent. And you see it says water line is supposed to be here. That's only to restart it. It's already primed when I did the water change, so it can suck all the way down below. See, there's a little spill right there, but who cares? It's still not undoing, but that's kind of cool. The new spout on this one, it's adjustable. You pull it in and out. You don't have to screw pipes together like the older ones. It also has a really big intake structure, so it's hard to clog it up. 4 aquarium heaters I paid 30 bucks for on eBay. That was an awesome deal because combined they're worth like 400 bucks. This one alone is worth 150 itself. 200 watt heater, it's stainless steel. Even if this came out of the water, you're not going to crack it. It's not going to, but I wouldn't push my luck overheating it out of the water. But that's a really high quality stainless steel one. I've never actually seen a stainless steel one before this. This one right here is pretty cool. It's made out of hard plastic. That's a really nice one too. But they're no 500 watt like that powerful China one. That's still more efficient. This one right here is glass, but this one looks practically new. There's not even a lime stain on it. And this one right here, this is a tinier one. Alright, so this tank here, I've showed this a long time ago in older videos. So basically what I have going on here is I have a filter right here. It's going into this eaves trough that's at a small angle, and you got another filter right there, the same one pouring into there. It's coming out of here just to get filtration through here. There's the Plecostomus in the cave. But these things right here are not reliable at all. They're made by Tetra. They're self-priming. They're made for like a turtle tank. You see the intake comes up and out at the top. Those run about $25 a piece at Walmart. They come with a 3-year factory warranty, but they tend to break down between 1 and 2 years. So for the past 10 years, I've been just keep filing those claims over and over again with the factory. I haven't had to pay for a filter in 10 years. They just keep replacing them. These are like I've probably been through 6 of them now. They just keep replacing them. It's amazing.